What's up, party people? Welcome back. This is the series where I take every Street Fighter 6 character from day one all the way to master rank. This is a fun and effective way for me to cope with mental illness, and I hope to make you laugh and learn along the way. Every 20 minutes game, and I recommend a 5-minute break to help improve learning efficiency as well as avoid tilt. Stick around until the end. I spy one of those for you too. Now on to the video. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I know a lot of you demons are waiting for this one. Today we are tackling Zangief. Now, for the first thing that I'm going to do before playing some Gifa, this is combo trials. Why do his combo trials first, you might ask? Well, first things first, you don't got to finish them. There might be some that are too hard for you. Don't worry about it. That's not important. The idea with doing the combo trials before you do anything else with the character is it's like when you pick up a novel, you pick up a book, and you flip it over. There's like a paragraph on the back of that damn old book. What that paragraph tells you is in one paragraph they try to describe the entire contents of that novel to entice you to buy said book and take it home with you. The combo trials the same way. Combo trials is a way to dip your toe into the character, learn a little something about them, and decide how they're going to jive with you. The idea of how it's like looking at the back of the book, though, is what the combo trials do initially is they're going to show you the character's special moves and what you're going to be doing with the character's special moves. And the character's special moves are essentially their identity as a character. That's, the character's special moves is their identity. I don't know what more to tell you about that. That's what makes the character, essentially, is their special moves. Yes, good normals, all that, but a character's identity traditionally comes from what their special moves are. So now that I've played my combo trials and I've learned about Zangief's special moves, and his unique attacks too, that's what I'm saying, all that stuff, that's the character's identity. That's how we learn it, that's how we dip our toe when we play the combo trials. I'll probably play arcade mode through with them once too, just to get the jive, get everything, set in stone. But once I have my combo trials played, and now I know a little bit about the character. I know their special moves, I know their identity. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to use these 4 fundamentals all the way to master rank. These are the keys to success with learning a character from the beginning to end. If you guys are unaware, I'm not using any special sauce here. I'm not using anything fancy. I'm going to keep it super basic, super simple. I probably had the guide at the beginning of the video for you, just for you to glance through, but I also have it in the description in a Google Doc if you want to click on that. Follow along with this video and follow along with every video that comes after this, the placement matches and every match on the way to master. And you'll see how I apply these 4 fundamentals to every session. So the first fundamental is slow down and enjoy the game. If you are not having fun playing Street Fighter 6, if you are not having fun playing Zangief, I want you to turn the game off and stop playing. Yes, I know, it's like, wow, I came here to learn more about Street Fighter, but guess what? What's most important is that you are playing a video game. You want to have fun while you're playing the video game. Now, I get it. It's like, well, a lot of people they struggle having fun with this game. So let me tell you what you do to have fun. The first thing you want to do is slow down. So a lot of people are playing for points. A lot of people are playing to win. They need to get master rank, yada, yada, yada. I know how it feels. They see, the color, and it's like, oh, I need to get that color. I need to win. But I'm sorry, that's just not realistic. The realistic thing is winning's nice and all, but you're going to lose a lot too. It's just realistic. And the important thing is to learn how to enjoy losing. How you do that is you play to learn, and you play to get better. If you could learn to laugh at yourself when you lose, that'll be even easier, you know what I mean? But you play to learn, you play to get better. You don't sit down to win. You play every 20-minute session you play. You play to learn, you play to get better. If you learn one thing every 20-minute session, you're going to improve a lot faster than if you were just mindlessly grinding ranked. Another way, if you're not feeling it, but you're like, oh, I need to play some games, watch some pro replays. We'll watch some pro replays at the end of this video. But yeah, watch some pro replays of the character that you're trying to learn, in this case, Zangief. Hype yourself up, and you could see him do something like if you're watching Snake Eyes or whatever, and he does something in his match that you think's really cool, you could try to learn that and apply it to your game, you know what I mean? Learn one thing every session. But yeah, that's the idea. Slow down, enjoy the game, play to learn, play to get better. Don't play for points. That's very important. If you're having fun, then you've already won the game, essentially. You're better than most people in Master Rank if you're having fun while you play the game. So keep that in mind. You're playing a video game. Number 2 of our four fundamentals, is focus on basic execution, and I do mean basic execution. We don't need sauce combos. I'm not going to use sauce combos in this guide. I'm going to show you that me on a PlayStation controller with some shitty, bad combos is going to be able to climb Master Rank no problem with these characters. So with Zangief, we're going to need a light, medium, and a heavy punish. That's the idea. Street Fighter 6 makes this very intuitive for us. Some moves aren't as punishable as others, so you'd use your light punish. Some moves are as punishable, or like a huge mistake, like when you block a super or an uppercut and you get a big chance, that's your heavy punish, Medium punish is usually, that's like the medium range punish, or for drive reversal. We want to punish for drive reversal. We want something that's going to work off of crumple and wall splat after our drive impact. So we're going to want to cash out our super. So that's like 7 combos we need to know. Once we know these 7 combos, then we don't have to think about them whenever those punish scenarios come up. Whenever you're always like, oh, I don't know what I should have done here, you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that looked punishable, but not very, so I'm going to do my light punish. Oh, that looked really punishable. I'm going to use my heavy punish. You don't have to think, oh, I got to do this combo here. You just already have it locked and loaded, and you do it. You know what I mean? Because the second you stop to think, oh, I got to press this button into this button and didn't do this, it's going to make it a lot more. It's going to take you out of the game. You want to stay. You're fighting. You know what I mean? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So you just want to do your punching. You want to get your damage out, and then you want to get right back into it. You know what I mean? The super combo is kind of important, just in case, like if it's the last combo and it'll kill them. You want to be able to cash out into your supers. But we'll get down to that. I'll get more into basic execution. I have easy combos for Zangief down below. We'll get to it. Number 3 is developing a game plan. Our third fundamental is having a game plan. Having any game plan is better than having no game plan at all. How I've been teaching you guys is through chess. I know a lot of us have at least messed with chess a little bit in our day. The idea with that is how you say it with the chesses is like pieces in chess have certain properties, things that they have to do. You know what I mean? A rook can't move diagonally, and a bishop can't move horizontally or vertically. These are still incredibly strong pieces. You know what I mean? These are some of the best pieces in the game. It's not like the queen, which would just be too OP, but you know what I mean? These pieces have their specific things that they can do, and they're really strong, but they can't do what other things do. It's the same idea in Street Fighter. Zangief, man, I wish I could, play Zangief like Sagat in Street Fighter 4. I wish I could throw 1,000 fireballs, tiger uppercut your ass across the screen, and then SPD you and use his level 2, but it's just not realistic. It's just not how the game works. You know what I mean? You have to play Zangief like Zangief, and we got to learn how to play Zangief. In this guide, I will give you what I call starter deck game plans, which I mean, that's whenever you play a trading card game and you get your very first starter deck, and it's not, it's not the best, but you could still play and learn the game with it. You know what I mean? That's the idea. I give you 3 starter deck game plans down below. And the initial idea is I teach you how to come up with your own game plan as well a little bit later in this video. And then once you learn how to develop game plans, learn how to add to these starter deck game plans, then you can start adding your booster backs to your game plans over time and really develop some strong, powerful game plans for your character or characters if you want to learn multiples. Now, the 4th and final rule is the 20 and 5 rule. If you're serious about improving, use the 20 and 5 rule. Every 20 minutes a game, take a 5-minute break. 20 minutes, 5 minutes. 20 minutes, 5 minutes. Stretch afterwards. Breathe deeply. Make sure you stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. If you really want to maximize this time, watch your replays. But if you want to just chill for a minute, watch some YouTube. Watch some dancing butts, the Depressed Gamer special. I'll be like, hey, what kind of dancing butts are the kids looking at these days? Oh, Ice Spice isn't relevant anymore? Well, I guess I got to find a new dancing butt to look at. You know what I'm saying? Just take a minute to reset your mental. It's going to help you avoid tilting, first of all. You're not going to tilt Q if you do this. You're just going to, after your break, you're going to go in and you're going to be like, oh, I was mad about that, Guile who kept me out for 3 games straight, but now I really don't give a shit. I'm going to fight, fair and square now and get right back into it. you're not going to care about that stuff. But what it also does is it helps you develop muscle memory. You know, the way you develop grooves in your brain, which is how you learn skills, is you let your brain marinate with this information. Essentially, you know, you go from smooth brain to grooves in your brain. Smooth brain, groovy brain. You want groovy brain because that means you develop the skills. You gave your brain time to learn. But if you play for like an hour straight, you're not going to learn as much as if you took breaks. Like, I mean, you might learn some, but your brain can't retain that information. If you take 5-minute breaks after 20 minutes, your brain's going to start developing these grooves. It's going to have time to marinate. And in your muscle memory, you know, it's going to become second nature, and you're going to remember a lot more stuff. This is how you learn skills. This is how my stupid ass got through college. Well, is getting through college because I'm a terrible student. But you break it down like this, and you don't have to worry about being ADHD, or if you like work long hours and you only got a little bit of time to play during the week, this is the best way to maximize it. You know, you could set aside 20 minutes like before bed. It's like, yeah, I'll play 20 minutes real quick. You know what I mean? Like, or, you know, like, oh, before dinner, oh, the kid just went to bed. I got 20 minutes to hit 4 matches real quick. You know what I mean? You might want to play more, but guess what? 20 minutes is solid enough to learn something. You know what I mean? So now that we covered that, I do want to bring up the system mechanics. You might be aware of them already. You might not be, but that's why I want to review them, and I'll tell you why. So Street Fighter 6, we used the drive system. What the drive system essentially is, it's made up of the drive gauge, which is the green bar above, below your life bar. And you use it for things like drive impact, drive parry, drive rush, drive reversal, overdrive moves, which are EX versions of special moves. And these are all the system mechanics. Outside of this, you know, every character has a jump, every character has a basic throw, stuff like that. Those are also considered system mechanics, but we're going to focus on the drive system here because the thing is, a lot of people, whenever they're fighting a character, they'll be like, man, I just have no idea what to do against Jamie. Or whenever Kimberly put me in the corner, I just felt like I could never do anything, and I just never left the corner, and she just killed me. Marissa, whenever I block Marissa's attack, my drive gauge just gets depleted, and it feels like I have to block forever. Or like Honda's headbutt, it's like, man, Honda's headbutt, you know, I can't do anything, but this move's so strong, yada, yada, yada. The idea with the drive system is if any of those things are giving you trouble, you look at the drive system and you look at what's available to you. Drive impact, drive parry, drive rush, drive reversal, and EX moves. And odds are, Street Fighter 6 is a very intuitive game. Odds are one of these options are going to be the answer to what you were having trouble with. Like, oh, Kimberly put you in the corner and you in block stun indefinitely. You spend 2 bars on drive reversal and you reset neutral. You know, it's believe me, you're gonna want to versus good Kimberly players. You're gonna need to do this, otherwise they'll be playing a different game. They'll be playing a 1-player game. You do this. Same thing with Manon. You do this to Manon, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, great! What the hell do I do? I can't do anything." You know what I mean? If you just drive reversals every time I bought, you know, I gotta bait that out now because if I just get hit by it, I'm at this range that I absolutely don't want to be in. I want to be close. Zangief too, you know. When the game came out, everyone thought Honda was one of the dumbest characters in the game. They thought he was way too unga bunga, way too good because headbutt and butt slam. We were like, man, these moves are safe. They're so, you know, they're so good. I'm just getting my drive gauge chipped out. Then we, you know, practiced the parry timing for a headbutt and butt slam, the perfect parry timing. And Honda quickly fell down ranks and became not a very good character at all. And you might be like, oh, perfect parry is too hard for me to do. Trust me, take Honda's headbutt and his butt slam into the training mode. Practice perfect parrying them. And it's easier than if you play arcade mode and there's that basketball minigame where you have perfect parry to basketballs. Honda's butt slam and headbutt's easier to do than that. It just practice the timing a little bit. And you'll realize it's not nearly as hard as you think. And the game gives you a very generous window to perfect parry moves. You know what I mean? Especially ones like that. If you just have the timing down a little bit, you're going to succeed a lot more than anyone. And it's going to help you a lot in those matchups. So that's what I mean. Whenever anything's giving you trouble in this game, take it into training mode. Go over the drive system with it. Odds are one of these things is going to be the answer that you need, and then you could continue going and getting better. You know, a lot of characters will have specific things they can do versus moves as well, but odds are, if you're just learning a character, this stuff is the way to go, the way to get through it. Now that we've covered all that stuff, we'll go over Zangief's bread and butters. I'll either have them on the screen now, or I would have already had them on the screen with annotations to what I was doing for these bread and butters, but they're also in the guide, I told you, so you can just reference the guide if you want to look again. And then you can check out this video and see me doing it, you know what I mean? If you have any questions or anything, you could always fire them off down below, and I'll do whatever I can to help you guys out. But yeah, you're looking at this, it's, pretty basic stuff. That's what I was saying. I was not trying to do anything fancy here. You know, we got stuff like heavy punch into medium punch into lariat, 2 light punches into lariat, medium punch into lariat, you know, then something that works off crumple splat. The drive reversal punish. Honestly, you just want to use his SPD to punish drive reversal. But I did do a combo just in case. You know, but Zangief, whenever it comes to punishing with Zangief, his SPD is 5 frames. So if your odds are like to punish anything, that's usually what you want to go to. Sometimes you might want to combo, you know, build meat or what have you, but odds are the SPT's the way to go. His spinning pile driver is, like I said, it's 5 frames, so it's as fast as most his normals. The only normal that's faster is his crouching light kick, which is 4 frames, but not a lot of stuff that's going to be 4 frames that you need to punish. Most stuff will be 5 frames, so yeah. Especially drive reversal. Now for his supers, you know, in my experience, you kind of just want to save his meter unless you're going to win the game with it, because level 3 is so strong. But level 1, yeah, he's got to come off it, but I'd just be using it for anti. Like I said, I'm not doing anything fancy. What did I write? Jump kick SPD. I don't know. His level 2 punishes fireballs, essentially. That's what sorry, I was just fixing my guide because I had something else written there. I don't know. Jump kick SPD, I don't know what that means. But yeah, his level 2 you could use for utility to punish fireballs, which is, you know, a good thing to learn. And into level 3, you could combo after EX layer. You don't really have to do the full 720 either. If you do like 1 360 and end on 8, if you look at the number pad on your keyboard and see where 8 is, if you end on 8, it's probably going to work. I think I only did it like once or twice because, yeah, the level 3 raw is so strong and it has so much utility. We'll get more into that later. But, yeah, just having, I mean, like I said, punishing the fireballs with level 2 is pretty good. And you can anti-air with the level 1, but if they jump backwards, you know. But that's a little bit more advanced and I want to get into. But, yeah, those are just ways to get your supers off or use them. Zangiefs are more for utility, like I said, which is good, you know. Like, having that punish for fireball can win a game. And, I wouldn't jump. Okay, I know why I wrote that. It's a combo off of the level 2. You jump and you do an air SPD with kicks. That's what I meant, kick SPD. But, yeah, that's what you use for that. So, now that we have our bread and butters out of the way, we'll look at game plans. How to come up with game plans with your characters. So, what I do, we'll be watching the replay. It might be on the screen now. It might be on the screen in a minute. But we'll be watching Kobeon versus Bonchan, and we'll also watch Snake Eyes versus JB. And if you look at the guide, what I do is I do MLB, playoff style, NBA. You know what I'm saying? We do play-by-play. We do every single thing that happens in a match. I write down the play-by-play for it. Waits, then tests his standing heavy punch. He trades normals on block, and then he fishes with the standing medium punch. You know what I mean? I write everything that happens in this match. 3-round match. I do 2 different Zangiefs, and what I do is I kind of go through what they did to get their damage, what they were doing, what won them the game, essentially, and I break this stuff down, and I come up with my game plans, you know. I mean, I see what they were doing. It looked good, you know what I mean? It was getting them damaged, it was doing yada, 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 and I break it down in the game plan. So you can see, if you do this yourself, you'll learn so much about characters, especially if you're having trouble in matchups. You could just break down the play-by-play for the character and study it. Study the pros. They do all the work for you, and then we steal their homework. That's the initial idea. So we could look at our game plans now. Our number 1 game plan is our pop quiz. So the idea about the pop quiz is in lower ranks, everyone's going to have a weakness. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in lower ranks. You know what I mean? Even high-ranked master players, like in 1800 MR, everyone could have a weakness, you know what I mean? Like me, I crouch tech too much. I delay tech too much. It's just a bad habit because I played Street Fighter 4 for so long and it was so strong. So I have to be mindful that not to do that versus a lot of guys. Otherwise, my lifeguard gets exploded. You know what I mean? And that's 1850 MR, and I'm still doing that shit. You know what I mean? So everyone has bad habits, except for like the best players in the world. But what you do is you pop quiz your opponent to see if they have answers for your good stuff. So do they have an answer for his armor punch, his fierce punch? Do they have an answer for you just walking forward, and then are they in the corner for free? You know what I mean? The drive rush medium punch, the drive rush slaps really good. Are they going to do anything about that? Do they just get SPD'd over and over again? You know, do they have an answer for you jumping at them? Do they punish drive reversal? Do they mash on wake up? Do they tech throws? Do they check drive rush? Do they ever DI you back whenever they're in the corner, or is DI free damage versus them? You want to go through these options. If they parry too much, you know, then you throw them. If they mash on wake up, then you medium. You know what I mean? You want to go through these options and see your opponent's tendencies. And once you figure out something you can abuse on them, then that's going to be free damage and a free game for you, essentially. You know what I mean? But like I said, every player has weaknesses. You want to test the water with your opponent and then figure out what you can abuse and win on them. So that's our pop quiz. And then our second game plan, very simple. We want to get a knockdown. Knockdown equals offense for Geef. Once they're knocked down, then they have to guess if we're going to headbutt them, or you know what I mean, medium punch them, light kick them, light punch them, or if we're gonna SPD them. That's up to them to guess. You know what I mean? So once we get a knockdown, we get our offense started, and then they're in hell essentially. Zangief wants that knockdown, but if you can't get a knockdown, what do? You walk forward. When you walk forward, they're eventually going to be in the corner, and once in the corner, they're going to panic. So they'll either jump at you, and you just layer them. If they aren't jumping and you could walk forward even more, then you're right in their face. Then you're in SPD range and you're in headbutt range, which is the same as a knockdown, essentially. You know what I mean? If you got them cornered, treat it like a knockdown. Yeah, they can press buttons, but SPD is such a big threat. His headbutt is such a big threat. His normals, whatever, he's up close, big threat. You know what I mean? They block a jab, you SPD and they're going to panic and they're going to jump, and that's going to be free damage for you as well. So it's essentially the same idea. DI is also a threat in the corner. They're going to be thinking about that and then just get SPD'd over and over again. Now, our game plan 3, we call Plan B. And what the hell is Plan B? We save our meter until we get Zangief's level 3, and we churn that butter, and we win the game. You save your level 3, and you use it when you think it'll hit them, either on your wake up or after a jump or any SPD situation where it's in range. Essentially, you land this raw, you're probably going to win that round. If you land this raw and you have the life lead and you can just walk forward at your opponent and press your buttons and anti-air when they jump at you, you're probably going to win. It's a very powerful. It changes Zangief exponentially when he has this available. It makes him such a terrifying threat. So, we've got our fundamentals down now. We know we're going to have to play to have fun. We know we're going to have to practice these very easy bread and butters, these easy punishes. And we got our game plans to execute. So it's been about 20 minutes since I started this guide. So now I'm going to take a 5-minute break, which is our fourth fundamental. And then I'm going to get into placements and show you guys how I apply this stuff to my matches. So that being said, party people, I am the Depressed Gamer. I need you all to be good to yourselves. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I reply to every single comment, and every like helps this video get into the hands of another evildoer playing Zangief, trying to wreak havoc upon the world. I need y'all to keep on struggling. It's hard out there for all of us. You can't quit. You just got to keep on struggling. And I will see you all in the placement matches.